Welcome back to the Parallel Universe. I'm your host, Logan Bruce. And before we get into what we're going to talk about on this episode of the Parallel Universe, I wanted to remind everybody about our giveaway for these Blokies. A fun toy. I have fun putting these together. In this particular box, this is Series 1 of the Galaxy version. It's fun because you put these sort of like a Lego, but not quite. You put these little miniature figures together, and you have fun with them. I've been playing with mine all day. You have in this particular series, in this box series 1, you have a chance of winning Optimus Prime, Jazz, Ironhide, Ratchet, Prowl, Blue Streak, Secret Optimus Prime with his signature axe included. Then you have a Megatron, a Skywarp, and a Thundercracker. That's what you can get in this box. You're not guaranteed to get, Optimus Prime on just because he's on the cover of it. But these are fun. And this is, like I said, this is Series 1, and you could get one of those Transformers in there. You put them together. They don't transform. Now, let me mention that. They don't transform. You click them together. You snap everything together, and they have very good articulation. I did a video with me putting one together. They're fun. That's for the first place winner. You could get that. Then we have Series of the Galaxy version, Series 2, where you could get Grimlock in his bot form or in his dinosaur mode. Then you also have Cliff Jumper, Inferno, Grapple, Optimus Prime, another Optimus Prime, a great Optimus Prime. I think that's his IOW form. Then you also have a secret Grimlock, and you have him spitting out fire. You could get that. You could also have a Starscream, a Mixmaster, or a Long Call. Those are the ones that you can get in Series 2. So if you're winner number 1, winner number 2, you'll get those two, and our third or fourth place winners will get one of these two boxes. These are the same kind. These are the Galaxy Defenders Series 1. But these are miniature. These are a little smaller than these guys. And in this box, you could get a special Galaxy Optimus Prime or a special Galaxy Megatron, Bumblebee, who is this? Ironhide, Sideswipe, Optimus Prime in his truck form, Bumblebee in his truck form, Scavenger in his vehicle mode, which I do have, and that's very fun. I was playing with that one earlier as well. Thundercracker in his vehicle mode, Optimus Prime, Megatron, just regular Thundercracker, a Prowl, and a Scavenger in his bot form. So that's what you can get in one out of these two here. Yeah. So and these are very fun. These are Blokies. I love having fun with these guys, and yeah, you could definitely win these. And I will try to put the link to them at the end of this video. I will try to. I may have to get Mitchie to do it for me because she's a lot better at that than I am. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today here on the Parallel Universe? Well, I was thinking, in cartoons, comics, and sci-fi, you always have good versus evil, or evil versus good, whichever way you want to say it, depending on which team you're on. I'm on Team Good, and if you're on Team Evil, that's fine too. You can be on Team Evil. But either way, so I was thinking about those who are quote unquote evil. That means they're doing something quote unquote bad, and and everything, causing mayhem and trouble and everything for everybody. So I got thinking about villains who weren't quite evil. They say they're evil or they do bad things, but they're not really evil. And so, who do I have up first? Well, up first I have the boy's genius, Mandark. And of course, we know Mandark is from Dexter's Laboratory. And let's see, Dexter's Laboratory. At first was like a small little clips that aired on Cartoon Network and TNT from 1995 to 1996. People loved it, so it moved to a half-hour show. and had 2 seasons totaling 52 episodes. Dexter aired from April 27, 1996 to June 15, 1998. And later, it would get picked up for 2 more seasons. They aired from November 18th to 2001 to November 20th, 2003. So that's what. So we had a combined series, combined episodes of 4 seasons. 4 seasons is what I'm trying to say. Just couldn't get it out right. Okay, so why do I say Mandark is not evil? Well, it was more of just being competitive. Dexter was the smartest kid in school, boy genius, and so Mandark just wanted to, you know, outdo him. That was it. You know, he did some bad things to try to do that, but he wasn't evil, so to speak. He just wanted to be the smartest kid around. You know, that's all it was. It was just a healthy competition in between Dexter and Mandark. Mandark, you know, with his signature laugh, which is always funny. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. I love it. I can't do it right now because I got something going on. But as you can tell. But I love Mandark. He was always funny, and a lot of times what got him beat was that he was in love with Dexter's sister Dee Dee, and that would cloud his judgment sometimes and allowing Dexter to get the upper hand. But it was always fun to watch Mandark try to, you know, be better than Dexter. But like I said, not evil, just a healthy competition. He even had his own secret hero or villain. You know, of course, Dexter had Monkey, who would turn into the superhero Monkey. Mandark had a duck that would turn into Quackster, I think that was his name. And that Quackster, he did go in there and start tearing up Dexter's lab, but anyway, not evil, just a healthy competition between two boys. Okay, so that was number 5. Here we go, number 4 on my list of evil villains that aren't quite evil. We have the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. Okay, now if you don't know this show was very funny to me. I love the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. It follows Billy, who is a happy-go-lucky, dim-witted boy. He's not smart at all. And Mandy, who is a deadpan, cynical, cold-hearted girl. And what happened is, to save Billy's hamster, or gerbil, I want to say it was a hamster, they enslaved the Grim Reaper in the limbo contest. They kind of cheated and won. Grim, as a he had to become their slave. And, you know, Grim hated that. He did not want to be, you know, the slave or the best friend is what they call it, forever to these two kids. So Grim, you know, even though he's supposed to be the Grim Reaper and evil and death and all of this stuff, he now finds himself enslaved to these two kids, and he's always having to send them to the underworld or some kind of supernatural place, and he's always doing all kinds of stuff for them. And later, even though he hated being in servitude to these kids, he begins to like them, even though he, you know, fantasizes about killing them, you know, multiple times. He kind of comes to love these two, well, love-hate relationship with the two kids. And, you know, but the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, it's a funny show. If you never watched it, you know, you need to check it out. It began as a segment on Grim and Evil, which is another funny show. From that, the series became, it aired separately from Grim and Evil Con Carne on Cartoon Network, June 13, 2003, and it ran to October 12, 2008. So then it also had like a Billy and Mandy Save Christmas. So it had, you know, some crossovers with The Kids Next Door, which is a great show. It was called The Grim Adventures of K&D. Excuse me. and that aired on November 11th, 2007. So it was really fun. The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, fun show. I love it. I might try to go find it and watch it today because it was always funny, especially the interaction between Grim and Billy and Mandy. That it was so fun. Yeah, it was fun. I actually love the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. So check that out if you guys haven't ever seen it. Okay, so that was number 4. Number 3 on the list of evil villains who are not quite evil goes to the entire evil group or bad guys in the Powerpuff Girls. Now I know what you're saying. Powerpuff Girls, yes, Powerpuff Girls. So let me explain. Okay, the Powerpuff Girls. It started off with the creator Craig McMacken created a short film for the Cal Arts in 1992, I think, and the name of the short film was Whoop Buck Stew. Now it was a can open a can of whoop a, but I don't say bad words on YouTube here. So Whoop Butt Stew, and which is funny, and so now he created that, and the name of the superhero girls were the Whoop Butt Girls, or Whoop. Okay, so we got that out of the way. So Whoop Butt Girls, and he later changed the name to the Powerpuff Girls. It was well received. People loved it, and he got the green light to debut the Powerpuff Girls, as he changed his name to November 18th, 1998. Now, we all know what the show is about. The Powerpuff Girls go around and save Townsville, from evil. So you're saying that these guys up here are evil. You got, him and Mojo Jojo and Fuzzy Lumpkins and all these guys. But so let me just explain. Okay, so we know him as the most, as they say in the cartoon, he's so evil, so despicable, so dastardly. We won't even say his name. We'll call him him. Y'all, we've always seen the Powerpuff Girls. We know, and it's funny because we see a depiction of this character, and he's supposed to be, well, who he's supposed to represent. Now, so you're saying that he is not evil, Logan? Is that what you're trying to say? Him, of all people, is not evil? Well, no, not really. True, he does try to defeat the Powerpuff Girls, but if he was so powerful, he could snap his finger and end the Powerpuff Girls just like that. I mean, he just could. No questions, nothing to it. Just on a whim, and they're done. But that's not what he does. He always comes up with some elaborate scheme, which ultimately the Powerpuff Girls beat. I remember one time, he turned Bubbles octopus, Octy, into this giant octopus and was going around destroying Townsville. And what stopped that, from happening, excuse me, you guys, it's funny to me. And I got something in my throat, I don't know what's going on. But what stopped that, because he drove a wedge between Blossom and Buttercup. And then, by the end of the episode, Blossom and Buttercup were together to save Bubbles. And he was like, Blossom, Buttercup working together. And he left. He stopped his scheme. Now, what was that? That just because they were working together, he decided to stop his destruction and trying to destroy the Powerpuff Girls and Townsville. That doesn't make sense. I mean, it's just funny to me. I love the show. I'm not saying anything bad about the show or the premise or that. I think that's funny. I think that's pretty good writing. And I mean, he has been seen working out. The Powerpuff Girls bust into his house, and he was working out, and and then they were just like, "Bye, girls," and that was it. He didn't do anything to him. So he is not truly evil. Okay, then you got Mojo Jojo, who was always trying to destroy Townsville. I hear you guys saying, "Yo, what about Mojo Jojo?" I mean, with all the weapons and his genius mind, you mean tell me he can't figure out a way to, stop the Powerpuff Girls? He's just, you know, adding out some aggression. Now, true, he's destroying a lot of property and and everything, and destroying the town. And this town has to have a major budget. I don't understand how they can get destroyed every week, and then the next day they're right back. But anyway, side note. So yeah, he could definitely Lex Luger the Powerpuff Girls. He's a genius. And a lot of times he just gets stopped because they destroyed. I mean, they put him in jail one time. He's in jail. So and they let him out. And some days he's just in his house eating breakfast. He's on top of the volcano eating breakfast. So he's not truly evil. He's just a monkey with, a super giant brain and, genius. But he's not evil. He's a monkey. So he's not evil. Okay, so then of course you got Fuzzy Luck. Fuzzy just want to be left alone in his cabin in the woods and drink his water with Joe, his banjo, and just play music. So he's not evil. Only time he goes on a rampage is when somebody gets on his property. And then he don't want him on his property. That's it. So he's not evil. And of course you got now I ain't even gonna mention the Amoeba Boys. Because the Amoeba Boys they just aren't criminals. They're not evil at all. So no to the Amoeba Boys. They're amoebas. They're not evil. Even the monsters that come and start tearing up Townsville are not evil. I mean, they just come to Townsville to try to last, around with the Powerpuff Girls, and if they can make it back to Monster Island and have them gone toe to toe with the Powerpuff Girls, they'll celebrate it. That's it. So they're not really evil. They just, trying to get some praise back on Monster Island. No evil. So nothing evil about the Powerpuff Girls and the villains that's up there in Townsville. Nope, no evil. Okay, so yeah. So that was number 3. Who was number 2? We're going to number 2. Let's rock out here. Number 2. Now this show, when did it air? It aired on Cartoon Network between 2007 and 2015. I had how many seasons? 4 seasons. And there are supposed to be, did I say 4 seasons? I think it was 4. I can't remember now. But there is going to be 2 additional seasons starting to follow. Well, starting in 2025. And what is this series I am talking about? No other than Phineas and Ferb. And we know what Phineas and Ferb is all about here on Disney. It follows Phineas Flynn and Fleur Fletcher during their 104 days of summer vacation. And the things they get into, they make all these inventions and do all these wonderful things and just to have fun during the summer. That's what they're doing. And of course, they have a pet platypus, excuse me, named Perry. I don't know what's going on with me. Named Perry. And of course, Perry has, he works for, who does he work for? The OWCA, which is organizations without a cool acronym, which is funny. And he's always trying to stop Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz. And we know what he is always trying to take over the tri-state area. And he's from this fictional place called Dusenstein. And Perry is always trying to stop. And normally Doofenshmirtz, stops himself. He has a self-destruct button, or something. I don't know why he always puts a self-destruct button on his inventions, but he does. And so his inventions, just go awry, and but a lot of times Perry does different things to cause him to hit the self-destruct button. So it's funny, but he's not evil. I mean, he has a good heart. He has a daughter that he takes care of. So he's not evil. Because I mean, who couldn't kill a platypus or not unalive a platypus? Excuse me. So you know, but he doesn't do it. He just doesn't do it. And so he's not evil. He's I don't know what else to say about it. He's not evil. He's just a scientist, a divorced scientist with a lot of money. Well, he gets alimony from his wife and or ex-wife rather, and he, but he's not evil because has multiple chances to unalive the whole tri-state area, and he doesn't do it. So he's not evil. So he's funny, and you know, he has proven to have a good heart. He has feelings, like when he had to choose another nemesis, so he chose Perry the Panda, and that's the whole funny shit. Anyway, so Doofusburg, Dr. Heinz Doofusburg, as my number 2 evil, unevel, or you know, super villain or villain or however you want to call it. But he's not evil. He's just he's just a mad scientist, and that always presses self-destruct button on his doomsday weapon. So, but not evil, because he always wanks for Perry the Platypus to show up to try to stop him. If he was truly evil, he would just do it. He would just build it, do whatever it does, and that'll be the end of the tri-state area. But he don't. I always waiting for Perry to show up. He, you know, even like one time it was like, Perry the Platypus, you're late. You know, it's fun. If you never watched Phineas and Ferb, I highly recommend you guys go check that out and have fun with Phineas and Ferb and Dr. Heinz Doofenshmirtz. Now that brings me to number 1 evil villain who is not evil. And this is not a TV show, so let me say that first. It is a movie, and it premiered here in the United States on November 5th, 2010. Now, it grossed excuse me, you guys. What in the world? I'm going to go see something about this or take something. I don't know. Now, it grossed $321.9 million worldwide on a budget of $130 million. Following the years of release, it has gained, you know, popularity and a cult following. And the name of this movie is Megamind. Yes, Megamind. We all have, you know, seen the movie and everything. We know what it's about. It's about Megamind, who is an evil villain in Metro City, and he is always thwarted by Metro Man. And now you say, now he's an evil villain, and he's always trying to, you know, take over Metrocity, as he calls it, or Metro City. How is that not evil? Because, I mean, if you watch the movie, the only thing Megamind really wanted was to belong. He didn't have a home. His home, you know, blew up or got sucked in a black hole. And when he landed to Earth, he actually landed in jail. He was taught wrong. And even then, all he just wanted to do was be welcomed and be loved. He didn't have that. I mean, can you imagine how you would turn out if all he wanted was someone to love you and didn't have it? You would, you know, yeah, you'd be mean and mad sometimes and everything. But that doesn't mean that you're evil. It just means that you had a rough go of it. And so now you're trying to figure out how to make things better. And that's pretty much what happens. He lands to Earth. He was raised in a prison. He had to scrap and fight for everything. Then when he was in school, he tried to make friends, but he didn't. You know, he messed things up, and people perceived that as being bad because, you know, he messed something up and he started a fire. You know, he was just trying to make popcorn, and he didn't know that he couldn't use regular corn. He had corn in there and tried to heat it up and make popcorn. But it of course caught fire, and so people thought he was just bad. Uh, but he wasn't. They hit him with dodgeball, with balls, and because they were playing dodgeball, so that's what you do. And he didn't know the rules of the game, and so he made an invention to keep the balls from hitting him. And one flew at the teacher, and Metro Man, stopped it, and so they were just like, "See, he's bad because he tried to hit the teacher with the dodgeball," and so he was just perceived as bad. But he wasn't. And then he got to thinking, well, hey, if I'm bad, then I'm going to be the best bad guy that I can be. And so he starts off, making, creating all these wonderful inventions that he used for nefarious purposes. But they were still cool inventions. And he just wanted a sense of belonging. He wanted to belong because he never had that. He didn't have it in school. His planet was destroyed, and so that's what he wanted. So he wasn't evil, just misunderstood. And later in the story, Metro Man is unalived. I'm not going to ruin it for you. And then a new villain comes up, and of course, who's left to stop him? Because the hero of the city is now deceased, so someone else has to step in to defeat this new villain. And who is it? Who saves the day? Watch the movie and you'll find out. But Megamind is not evil, just misunderstood, looking to belong and have a place of his own. So those are my top 5 villains, evil villains who are not really evil. Misunderstood, perhaps, but not evil. So thank you guys so very much for all your love and support. I do appreciate it. If you like the apparel that I have on, you can definitely check us out at Dimension 616. It'll hit the buy merch button. It'll take you to our Etsy store, and you can find all these wonderful products: travel mugs, tote bags, coffee mugs, tumblers, and of course the hats and shirts and apparel that we have there. So I thank you once again for your love and support. Don't forget our giveaway with the Blokies. First, second, third, and fourth prizes. So don't forget about that. Go to our YouTube page, like, comment, subscribe, and for your chance to win those. So thank you guys so very much. I couldn't do this without you. And as always, we'll see you in a parallel universe.